talking for grand.
Did you go for your webcam?
Yeah, I think it was through the webcam. It must have been like your computer fan.
Genuinely
Yeah, it
impressive,
was.
man.
It was my computer fan, like right in there, because it was a fresh install of Audacity, and I forgot I hadn't switched it back to my proper mic. But yeah,
Sorry, Jack. I said he's a shit fucker for doing that when I was at the casino.
Shit, fucker.
talk about a blurry night. But speaking of more blurry nights, we're live now with Ben's face cam, not looking too crash hot, but welcome one and all to episode 22 of the Casual Cast. I'm your host, Sam Nicholson, joined alongside by the biggest roster we've ever had on a show so far, by one extra member. So we're also joined by Jack Kruse. How you doing, man?
What's up, Platt?
Platt. And Dylan Blight.
Good morning and afternoon, gentlemen.
Top of the morning to you.
8:38 p.m. But sure.
I'll take that.
Top of the evening. But yeah, no, we've just all come hot off the back of a very large weekend at RTX Sydney. Overall, I had a really good experience, but that's probably what we're going to be talking about the whole hour, just shooting shit.
Did you forget to introduce someone?
No, I said I was here with Ben, surely. Oh, I said Ben's face cam was shit. That's good enough.
That's right.
Guys,
good to wrap it up.
Looks like 160p is his face.
Ben, plug your band.
Do it now.
Just follow us on Instagram, Trojan Platypus, releasing new music soon, EP coming up. Place your bets, currently in the makings, and playing bootleg gigs around Canberra. So please like, subscribe, and come forward to our YouTube channel eventually.
Solid plug.
That's it.
I like it.
And
Not a bad
on the
plug,
spot.
straight off the dome. Yeah,
Get it
Trojan
early while people
Platypus.
still haven't left the video yet. They're still listening.
While we still have 4 people watching. But actually, I think I count as one of them too. So woo. But the chat is also open, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be watching that and monitoring that, interacting with you all too, if you wanted to put some stuff in there. But guys, how did we find that RTX?
You go,
Good.
Shepherd.
Gentlemen, so we will be watching that and monitoring that. Someone's in the chat.
RTX was good. I guess. I don't know. The weekend was good. So I went obviously last year. Did you guys go last year, Ben and Sam?
No,
Can't say I did.
No. We went last year. Sort of our crew. We all met there for the first time, and we all went, I guess, mainly because of Kind of Funny being there. And there was a few people who were also fans of Rooster Teeth. I wasn't one of them. Still not a fan of Rooster Teeth, to be fair. It's not like I don't like them. It's not like, I'm not a fan of that. It's just I'm not in the zeitgeist of it. However, I have started to watch Sugar Pine 7, and those guys are great.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like the convention itself, it was whatever for me. It was just like a big market. There's just heaps of stores and shit, and not a whole lot to sort of do on the show floor. But I went for the weekend away and catch up with the boys and girls and have a good night and a good few nights, and yeah, just fucking get shit done.
And that you guys did. It seems like you guys have made a heap of content out of it too. So anyone watching who hasn't, like more than we have so far, we filmed a lot. Nothing's put together yet.
Yeah.
No, we should have a vlog out about that. Hopefully this Friday. But yeah, no, these guys are putting up like day by day vlogs on the Pleasure Explosion YouTube channel. Is it? No, Explosion Network YouTube channel. That's what you guys have called. Yeah,
that's it.
So definitely go check that out if you guys haven't already. Ben and I feature in the latest one. And that's a blurry night to say the least. That's Ben and I at our peaks.
It's a feel privileged because you hit me at the best point.
It's a good night. I was going to say, we can talk about that whole night for a good bit because I can just.
It's a good bit.
It's a good bit, yeah. I can just talk shit about Sam for quite a while for not letting us get into any place. The fucking
wasn't that no deal?
That's the first time that's ever happened to me. Like, I didn't feel like I was that bad, but watching that footage back now, it's like, oh no, that kid is a write-off.
You didn't seem that bad in the video. You were just sort of like merry. Were you a bit sloppy? Were you walking?
His eyes were like
apparently.
His eyes were glazed over like a donut kingdom. They were just crazy.
Oh, back in his head.
Yeah, that's it.
Foam at the mouth and pops at the front.
Cream factory. But that was a solid night. But yeah, for me myself, the RTX event as a whole that was my first one. I've only ever been to one kind of similar thing, which was the EB Games Expo, which doesn't have panels, but apart from that, it was the exact same thing. Just walk around and look at stores. And yeah, I don't know. The panels were fine, but my biggest issue with it was that they had two panels going on at once within 50 meters of each other. So if you weren't setting down, they crossed over. The audio crossed over. You couldn't hear a thing. It seemed pretty poorly organized compared to previous years.
Last year they had they had shit going on the show floor, and they had like the gaming stage, and I'm not sure if they even had that far right stage last year. I can't quite remember, but
they only had one stage last year.
Yeah, they only had the one stage on the show floor, and all of the panels were done in like the conference room. So there was no like you would like go and sit in a conference room and watch the panels. It was fully enclosed. Whereas this year they didn't obviously utilize those. I imagine it was a cost thing. Like they probably didn't have the I guess the need for it with the guests that came. Obviously last year they had Hideo Kojima and Kind of Funny were sort of, I guess the big additions. This year it was Sugar Pine 7, but they just did it all from the show floor. And then there was like VIP panels that were off in some room, which was, I think there was only like 3 of those across the weekend. But yeah, I found I was similar. I found the setup a bit, and I mean last year I guess was a perfect storm for RTX of things sort of coming together. With you had the Nintendo Switch, which you couldn't play anywhere else. You had Kojima, and and a few other things. So there was really a lot more buzz around getting there for that. So it seemed like that wasn't quite the case this year.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, last year. Yeah, it seemed last year there were a lot more channels going that had Kojima in the Switch. There was a lot more reason to be there, so I guess they could afford those extra rooms. Seems like at the kind of funny panel last year that Greg may have trashed one of those rooms a little bit. I don't think the venue is very happy about that from what I've heard, but yeah, I mean, back in. Yeah, that could have been one of the reasons. Who knows? But I don't know. Did anyone have a favorite panel? Mine was Sugar Pine 7, either the first or second one for sure. They were fantastic.
The second one I liked more from a like professional, because they were like just talking more serious about. They weren't playing their characters, whereas because the first panel was the Beyond the Pine podcast, and they're playing their characters in quotation marks, and that was really funny. It was great, and it was laugh out loud greatness. But I preferred the Q&A Sugar Pine thing because I was more interested in how they look at their own content and what they want to even do with that company. Because like with content like that, it's like, how does this burn out eventually type situation? And they talked a lot more about their interactions behind the scenes, like as friends and like that kind of stuff. Like does making that type of content make them clash and stuff like that? And then they talked about wanting to opening a movie studio and all that sort of stuff, and I found that more interesting, tackling that stuff. My personal favorite panel was just the Ruby panel though, just because I'm a Ruby fangirl.
Yeah,
so I'd say Ruby.
I didn't get to that one. I've never watched Ruby, so I didn't really have a whole lot of reason to be watching, I suppose. But yeah, it seems like a great anime to get into. There's so many fans there. I thought most of the cosplayers were probably for Ruby than anything else. But,
like 90% Ruby cosplay.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first Sugar Pine 7 panel. I would like to see them in character, and just the roasting that Steve was giving to people is like, I'm surprised after maybe the first person, people are still putting their hands up to get involved, because like you could just tell he's going to haze whoever went up there and make them uncomfortable.
That was good. Yeah, that was
those guys.
Yeah, I mean, that dude that stole James's hat had it coming. I only went to the 2 panels, and they were both the Sugar Pine 7 ones. And the first one for me was I preferred because it was just like, it was funny. Like they were in character though. I quite like, that's my kind of humor. That sort of like real dry, quiet, sort of blunt to the point kind of. Like I really found it quite funny with them. Just the way they were like, like just roasting every single person and just like even knew each other. Like shut the fuck up. And from the moment that Steve came out, and he sat down and he's like, I can't get he's like playing with his laptop. He's like, I can't get he's like, can you come over? There's no internet here. And just fucking around with his laptop. And I'm assuming that was like part of the act, but
that wasn't a bit. The internet just doesn't work in that fucking convention center.
Well, either or, it seemed like, whether it was a bit or not. And that was that was what I really liked about it. I'm watching it, I'm going, I can't tell whether he's like playing the character or whether he's actually like this is the thing. And then the banter between him and like that John Risinger guy was quite funny as well. It's like, can you host this fucking panel? Like, you're not fucking doing anything, just do it properly, and that kind of shit. I thought those guys were hilarious. I really do. I'm quite glad that I've sort of found them now.
Yeah, that's it. It was a lot like the videos where you're kind of questioning, is that real or is this a bit? Or yeah, I loved it. Boy, does Steven seem like someone who's like dark side you don't want to get on. You don't want to ever cross the line with him. He can tear you apart.
No, definitely not. I don't know if any of you watched the Boys Only Club podcast he's on as well with Raina Scully from the Super Panic Frenzy.
I used to work together at Soulsfed,
yeah. Yeah, boy, does that just show like the darker side of Steve that like doesn't really show up on the Pine podcasts.
It works on that podcast because Raina's such like the opposite spectrum. Like she's kind of
no doubt
balances him out. I feel like if there was like two Steves on that podcast, it would just be like, this is a bit too dark and dark.
Yeah. Where she's just like, I don't know, plays it all off, doesn't really get weirded out easily, just moves along with it.
Basically, yeah. I think that's just because she's used to him after years or whatever. That's why it works. I don't think it would work if that was a new podcast. Did you catch any of On the Spot?
No, we were actually in line to get our autographs at that stage, which is devastating because I wanted to see the old Willems combo.
Yeah, because that was really great. On the Spot was really great too.
Yeah,
that was the most people I think I saw. I was standing up the back watching it. Not because there were so many people that went in there for that thing. It's like the chairs filled up within a hot second, and then there was just people crammed into the sides everywhere. And then there was people. We went off to the backhand corner. Me and Karen went off into the backhand corner just to watch from back there. And there was just people all crammed around there watching that. That was the most people I saw gather for any single panel was for On the Spot, which I found interesting because it's not a podcast. It's a game show, whatever if you want to call it that, I guess. It's more of a show thing, I guess. But that's also one of their newer things. It shows how successful it's going, I guess.
On the Spot's been great, and the fact that it had people from Achievement Hunter and Funhouse bringing like two big majorities together, along with John. Like John Rasner is just a gem. So anyone who's at Rooster Teeth, like I can't really see anyone who doesn't like him. And so like it makes sense that it's one of the biggest things there, bringing basically all of them together, except for Sugar Pine.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. And the James Willems and Elise Willems combo, that's a classic combo. They can bounce off each other so well. Their humor is fantastic. I really wish I watched, but yeah, our autograph session just had to fall in line there. But that was probably one of my highlights too, actually. Standing in line for that, we met some pretty cool people, pretty like-minded people as well. And then we got to meet Funhouse, who Ben and I have both followed for God knows how many years, since before they were Funhouse. So that was really cool. Yeah, getting to meet Adam and Bruce, got some good photos with them. We were one of the last ones in line too, so we got to have a bit of a chat with them. That was great as well. Yeah.
Was Autumn off in the corner, just like love-hiding eyes? Or
Probably.
She wasn't there, but she was probably off somewhere with binoculars. Like, yeah.
I saw a fucking tweet later. She sent her like a tweet or a video about. It's like, I can't believe I get to look at this lovely man every day of my life. I love how I'm like, oh, gross. Get out of here, girl.
It seems to have a character for Autumn as well. Like, who she is on the podcast.
That's just how she is in real life. But her character in Sugar Pine is not at all.
Seems very reserved even on the podcast, though, where it's not 100% their characters, but like it's like intertwined, kind of.
Yeah, it's a combination, I guess.
Yeah, you never get to really see her true side. She just goes on the flow. You probably have to, like, duck down and just endure what happens when you're in a room with those three.
It's the same as like Kib, if you go watch like Kib's personal YouTube channel or anything like even so do you ever have Funhouse TV on in the background since I started that up?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, like I've been getting into bed recently and it's just like stick it on my phone on the side just while doing, see what's happening, see what's on Funhouse TV. And I turned it on last night and they had a Overwatch with Steve and Kib on there. Or something like that. No, it wasn't. That was after that. The one before that was Kib was playing like some homeless simulator game with him. Like he wasn't
that was a good one.
But he was just like normal. That was just him being himself, which is still funny to see.
It's interesting that they said like in the Q&A, like he sort of made Steve sort of made mention that the characters that they all play are all sort of fairly similar to who they actually are. It's just exaggerated, except for Kib, who plays someone who's like completely not him. Like he said, he's like, kid plays an idiot, and he's obviously not an idiot.
Yeah, that's it. I haven't seen much of who Kib really is. I haven't watched much of his like personal YouTube channel or anything like that. I think it'd be really weird though, seeing such a contrast after like seeing all the videos of him just acting like an idiot. But yeah,
just do his legit music. He has like legit songs.
Oh, he makes music, really?
Yeah,
and he can he's a really good guitarist. But there you go.
He goes well. But from like the like we said before, the Boys Only Club, Steve gives a bit of an insight into Kib. So apparently, like the things he says during Sugar Pine and everything are kind of put on. That's him using his improv comedy, but his personality is something that doesn't really switch off. He has like examples where they'll be in lines, like for iCare example, and he'll just be like, talking extremely loud, and Steve's just like, "Shut up, turn off." Like, God, when do you just stop? Like, we're not. Is this a bit? When I just don't know. So apparently, he has that kind of personality as well on top of his improv comedy.
Yeah, well, I suppose that makes sense. You wouldn't be able to play that. Like, you wouldn't be able to go around filming that stuff all day in the zone
if that's not part of you.
If that's not deep seated down inside of you, I guess. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's it.
Why not good? Overall, I'd say that, like, personally for RTX, I think it's worse than last year if you're looking at it as like a general consensus, whatever you want to call it, type of thing. I was talking to someone about this at the con, and I was like, well, I feel like Hideo just attracts general gaming audience, so that was a certain percentage of the thing is just going to be your general whoever's, and then there was the smaller fan base of the Kind of Funny fans, which is the reason we went there. Not a huge amount. That was a very small but vocal group that showed up just for that. And then I solely do believe that a high majority of the people that went last year solely brought tickets to play the Switch. Because Nintendo fanboys are fucking insane, and they would have just paid to get in there, line up, played the Switch, and then left, and that probably would have been it.
There was definitely way less people there this year than last year. Like there was you could tell like just by the way the show floor was set up, the way that you could like walk around, and there wasn't like big crowds of people. That there was like I don't know, significantly less than last year.
Interesting, because I'm pretty sure I saw on the RTX Facebook page maybe that they'd sold out for this event as well. So they definitely anticipated that.
The VIPs they added more to and sold out of the VIPs. It's a con designed for the fans. And if you're not a fan, and like a hardcore fan, it's not going to be a fun con for you at all. The opposite to Jack is this girl that I saw at the I think it was the Girls of Rooster Teeth panel. Or the Ruby one, it was one of them. This girl just lines up. She's in, full cosplay Ruby, and she's like up there. She's like, "Thank you all for coming here. Like, this is one of the best weekends I've ever had in my life. It's amazing." She's like, "I'm seeing everyone, like seeing all Lindsay and Barbara, and like seeing everyone from Cheap. This is great. This is one of the greatest weekends of my life." And I'm staring at this girl, going, "She's having an absolute fucking blast." And I guarantee there's other people there that were like her. Like, this is the best thing ever. Like, all I do is watch Rooster Teeth content. These are the people I look up to the most. I get to see them in their skin, in real life. And then that was us last year of Kind of Funny. We were there 100%. Having a fucking bowl staring at Tim on stage and Greg on stage, like, "Oh, we're seeing him in real life. This is great. This is amazing." And so I can't fault the con for the content. The content's built around attending panels. The only thing I would fault it for is, as we just mentioned before, having those two stages next to each other. Because unless you were sitting down inside the speaker design, because it was like a square design to have the people seating be able to hear properly and block out the sound. If you were standing behind that line, the Let's Play stage was bleeding sound over. Yeah. So the only big thing I'd say is move inside. Move that panel thing.
Plus, if you're at the back, plus you had the Razer booth to 5 meters back with the dude with the microphone. It's just pumping fucking house music all day.
Just like, you know what, we're going to make it a bit better. Here's someone else with a mic that is going to be equally as loud as the panel. It's ridiculous. But like you're saying, with the whole release of more tickets for VIP, each stage only had, I think it was 300 seats, and there was 500 VIP people. So regardless, if there was a big event such as on the spot, if you bought VIP, you're not guaranteed a seat. And with, I think it was this year, the person in line that we're talking to during our signing said that it's meant to be the year of the community. It's meant to be the year that Rooster Teeth like really puts emphasis on like people who are part of this community. And the fact that not everyone could sit down, and me, like, I was happy to, because like first con, enjoyed it. I was one of those fangirls for Funhouse because like I followed Adam since he basically started YouTube and things of the sort. I was happy to stand there, but people.
Hey man,
Some
there were
people
no
can't
chairs.
stand
There were
there.
not even chairs last year, so at least there was fucking
That's it.
chairs. Oh, sorry, no,
Oh.
there was VIP chairs, but the rest of us had to fucking stand.
Oh,
So they
really?
had-
Dang.
last year there was probably like 50 chairs at the front, Dylan, something like
Okay.
that. Like there
If
was-
that, in my mind, it was like 20 chairs that were VIP.
Yeah,
Jesus
so
Christ.
that's
Right.
on the show, like where they had the Kojima panel with where Greg Miller interviewed him. They had basically like they had like where they had the I guess the gates like this year where you think about where you walk into where those panels were and that. So those gated off areas, and then you'd walk in, and then there'd be another gated off area at the front, which was the VIPs. And yeah, there was probably maybe 20, like 2 or 3 rows of like chairs that was just for VIPs, and maybe 20, 30 seats, and the rest of the people had to stand and watch. Which
It was
so
That
that-
would
literally-
definitely.
Let's Play stage was
so it was over on the
where it
left
was
side.
set up last year on that side, and they didn't have the gates behind. You know how you had to kind of walk through basically an archway
Yeah.
with the gates behind you and lock you off. All they had was just a gate at the front to stop you getting too close to the stage, but it was a lot closer, and it was just like pile in first, and if you're getting there late, you're going to be all the way at the back and barely be able to see anything. And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it.
God.
The annoying
Motherfuckers are
thing
gonna
about
get
last
trampled.
year is that there was like in one of the panels we watched. I can't remember which one it was. It was definitely one of the ones of like the Kind of Funny guys. We were all at the front watching Kind of Funny. It might have been the first Let's Play, and there was 3 people sitting in the VIP seats, and then the rest of the and then 500 people behind, like standing, like dying. It's like there's no. They're like, oh, these seats are for the VIPs. It's like there is no one sitting in them. Like they are empty seats, and you are making us stand.
That's
How much
ridiculous.
the VIP tickets were last year? Just out of curiosity.
It's like $500,
Yeah, 500
Yeah,
bucks.
so they're
something like that.
500 again. Yeah,
something around that. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Far
I
out.
think it's like 75 for a weekend pass, and something
Yeah.
like 500.
Yeah.
So same as
man.
this year.
I don't know how so many people can justify $500. Like, you didn't seem to get too many perks compared to a weekend pass, but
mean,
it feels
yeah.
like for this year at least, because that's kind of the only context I have, they spent maybe like a day planning of how this was going to work. Because like when we got there, internet was never working. The first thing we watched was Funhouse's Google Trends show, which is reliant on Google working.
Yeah.
And as soon as they
That's all
try
right.
to connect,
Poor Lawrence.
up,
That was
Wi-Fi is down. Oh man.
Not a happy camper.
No, Lawrence wasn't a happy camper at all. And then the servers weren't working for some of the like gameplay things that they were doing. One of the other things I watched, and Lawrence from Funhouse is getting visibly pissed at that. Nothing fucking works. But overall, I'd say it was a cracker weekend. Apart from meeting Funhouse, I'd say the highlight for me was definitely the Saturday night.
Yeah.
So starting with the community meet and greet, the Kind of Funny meet and greet that we'd done at the Piedmont Bridge Hotel.
Yeah.
When we
I found out
arrived
that
there,
day
though, oh sorry,
Orchestrated that as well. So
I have no idea what you
I
just
only found
said.
out that day that you orchestrated that as well. So that's a
Oh, I
lot
mean,
of,
all I did was make a phone call. It's
responsibility
not
on
that
someone like
hard,
yourself,
but-
right?
we kind of we kind of just
That's
lumped that on you. Sam was like, hey, is anyone organizing a meet and greet? And we're all just like, looks like you are.
I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, I didn't want to do that, but I guess I'm doing it.
I wouldn't trust Sam to do it, but whatever. If it was just a scapegoat, that's fine.
And he
Yeah.
nailed it. He nailed it.
I walked in there and I was like, oh, there's a reservation for Sam Nicholson here. Like, do you know where that is? I've never been here before. Like, oh, that's the first we've heard of it. Maybe. It's like, oh, awesome. What's the bet? This isn't going to happen. And then like, I'll just check like the top floor or the second floor or something. It'll be around there somewhere. It's in like this hidden little side room, but it ended up being fantastic. Meeting all the people there was really great. So if anyone's listening who came, thanks for coming along. Yeah, it was great to meet the community. Many beverages were had. Boy, that ended up being a blaring night.
Yeah.
You guys are bad influences.
We had to
Yeah,
show
that's
up a
it.
bit late to be cool, to walk in like a bit late.
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys.
you and
Yeah.
Kieran were like, we have to be there at 7:01. People are going to be wondering where we are. I'm like, oh, come on.
Jack's like, I'm fine. We can be as late as we want.
Yeah, we
Get
were
that
fashionably
celebrity
late.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
made a
it.
grand entrance.
that's exactly right. But yeah, no, the party like definitely kind of kicked off from there. And I hadn't eaten a single thing that day. So yeah, as a diabetic, that was probably the safest thing I could have done.
Doing good. Doing good.
No wonder you
Yeah,
were
that was good. It was good to see people from last year. Catch up with them, say hi, how are you going? Then get
Yeah.
really drunk and start yapping shit again, and then remind those people why they're happy to only see me once a year. So that's fine. That's fine.
There's only so much of Dylan we can take.
There was that point where we left the fucking place and everyone's like looking at because I'm yelling at that person in the car. I'm like,
oh my god,
the whole day hanging out with me enough, drunk Dylan enough, like.
That's right. That was on the crossing straight out the door. You're just yelling at some guy in a car.
To be fair, he was parked like across the intersection, trying to cross like when we were able to walk on a pedestrian or something. Like then beeped at us.
It was the fact he was
Dylan ain't having none of that.
That was doing my head.
That's just classic Sydney. Like you learn to expect that kind of dickery in a place like Sydney.
It's a good way to put it, dickery.
That's it. I can't stand that city. Like I could never live there. I like visiting it every now and then. I could never live there. But yeah, boy, did that ended up being a very interesting night. I remember when I came home, it was like maybe 4 a.m., maybe 4:30. I thought it was like midnight. I looked at my phone. It's like, what the fuck? Where'd the time go?
We left the bowling place at like 1:30.
No, it was like 2. We got kicked out. It was like 10 to 2.
It was like quarter to 2. They're like last drinks at 1:30. It must be like quarter to 2 by the time we walked out.
When we were walking out, the countdown clock that they had on the big screen had 8 minutes on it.
Yeah, the fucking nuclear bomb time countdown. Last drinks will now be served.
That's cool, man. I was a fan of that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Then we dropped the bomb.
But it was good. Yeah, the Saturday night was good. It was good. Like, it's cool that heaps of people like showed up just for that, like who didn't even go to the con. Like, you know, with Zoe and her partner, God forgive me for forgetting his name. Like Niall was there, and obviously Jared, and a few other. Oh God, who else was there?
This is why I don't start listing people's names, because then you feel bad if you can't remember every single person.
I think that's it.
Jam was someone's name.
Who?
It wasn't really, but that's forever what he's.
There was Jordan who was.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Giol.
Are you guys just listing names now? Not even relevant names.
Abraham.
Terrence.
Oh, Mickey was there. No, it was good. It was good. It was good to we sort of wasted a whole hour though going to spawn point, waiting and realizing that they closed in half an hour. We should just go straight to the Twitch party.
The lady who was watching the door though, she was like the nicest lady.
She was, but she could have fucking told us that they were closing at 11:30 when we rocked up, like, and that they weren't letting people in. Like, she could have been like, "Hey guys, look, you're please, like, by all means wait, but we're closing in half an hour or an hour."
Oh, really? I never knew that they were closing in half an hour. I thought we just left because we weren't going to get in.
No, because she's like, because I'm like, I called the guys who were at the Twitch party, and they're like, "We're coming to spawn point now." I'm like, "Okay, cool. We'll wait here. We'll wait out the front for you. And when you guys get here, we'll all go down." And then the chick's like, "Oh, we close in half an hour." I'm like, "Well, why the fuck are we still standing here? Let's go.
Let's get out of here."
Yeah, she could have told us that at least. But yeah, we're like, "Oh, just let us in one by one to use the bathroom." Yeah, she had a good chat to us. Like,
they've changed the lighting down there. I noticed. I went down there. I'm like, "Why is it so fucking bright in here?"
Yeah, last time I was there, it was like really pitch dark. Yeah,
it obviously fallen over and cracked their skull open. So like, we need better lighting in here.
That's it.
Hold their liquor.
And then
when I was trying to find all the way across that fucking bridge again.
Yeah, that's a long ass bridge.
Got rained on. Then I lost Jack.
Well, I was ahead of you guys.
Yeah,
me and Daniel were just.
We thought he was behind us.
Yeah, I was sure about that.
I was, and then I walked like up past you, and I just happened to have a brisk pace, and you guys were lagging behind. And then it started raining, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to slow down. It's like, that was the thing. Like, I got up, me and Daniel were walking, and my friend Daniel, who was with us, and we got up like maybe 10, 15 minutes in front of you guys. And I was like, I went to like stop and be like, oh, I'll slow down and hang with the pack or whatever. And then it started like raining, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm just going to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how far ahead of you guys we actually got.
Well, I was safe because I was like, I'm way too drunk to run in the rain.
Well, we didn't run, we just walked. But we just happened to, I think we just...
brisk pace.
I drunk pace.
Yeah, I think the rain really picked up.
Side by side. They call that Tarzan. Fucking from side to side and that drunk.
Zigzag away there.
What shows that the bunch of us who were behind you, Jack, that we're very efficient thinkers, was that we stood outside debating for 10 minutes whether you were behind or in front of us instead of just calling you straight away to find out. We stood there for so long, just like,
he's behind us. No, he never went past us. No, he didn't go past me either. And then eventually I was like, I can just call him.
I'm surprised we hadn't got to the point where, like, judging by the trajectory of the stars and like,
someone's got a compass.
And ring him. He's like, I'm at the fucking party. Where are you? I've had 10 drinks since I've been here.
I appreciate the concern. That's actually quite nice. I didn't know that happened. That's quite
Yeah, we was
good.
waiting. We didn't just take off without you like you did.
Like I did. I fucking bad left you guys for dead.
Yeah, just left us.
Yeah, thanks for reciprocating the love.
Man.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
good.
I'll do it next time.
Party. That place was cool. I mean, the drinks were ridiculously expensive, but
Oh yeah.
I liked that place. Like it was cool.
Yeah.
Like music was good. There was like lots of lights and stuff. There's video games if you want to do that. There's pool tables and stuff. It was good people as well.
There?
Yeah, they had like a whole
there's
like
an
where the
arcade.
toilets were. So like when you walked past and you followed. Oh no, I won't say. But that
You
place.
can say.
No,
Fuck
no.
him.
So like when you walk through to the toilets, that whole downstairs bit was just all like games, like arcade games, and then obviously they had the 4 or 5 bowling alleys, and then just pool tables and shit set up everywhere. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot different to the last time I've been there. Last time I was there was with Ben, and it was in the middle of the day, and everyone else there was like maybe 6 to 12 years old. So it was a good contrast going there at about 1 a.m. instead
I'm
of.
surprised we had no idea that it existed. Like last year, we would have like we were literally downstairs from there, and then we struggled to find somewhere good to go after.
We
Hard
weren't
Rock.
in the industry or whatever
Yeah.
you want to.
But I mean, like-
Who were you following in the Twitch community to know?
No, I'm not talking about like the Twitch party. I'm talking about the fucking.
Oh, just
venue.
the place itself.
Yeah, like it was literally above, like 1 floor directly above where we went
I
last
walked
year.
past it at some stage. I remember going all the way up there because isn't the restaurant we went to on Friday night like up all the way up that top floor too or something? Well, the one we went to Friday night where Jono showed up and was like, "I come off my boat."
Oh, it is there, but it's further back down. Yeah, no, it's on the second. It's not. It's. I was on a boat. It's sort of like in the middle. It's on the second floor. It's not right at the top. No, it was like so. You had like the ground floor with the food quarters, and then you went up to like the second level, and then the bowling alley, and that was on the third level.
Maybe I saw a sign for it down there or something because I remember being like, "Oh yeah, bowling."
Yeah.
Cool.
What was that?
Well, that would have been like
Last
year. That would have been. I reckon if we had gone straight up there, that would have been good. Except we bounced around the fucking Hard Rock all night.
Yep.
Well, how could you not? Greg and Tim were there, so.
Oh, well, this is like after they left. We were sort of like, because we were all like, "Oh, what do we do now?" And we all just hung around the Hard Rock. And I think I can't remember. Did we didn't go Spawn Point that night? Maybe we did.
I honestly can't remember the event
It's fine.
in which they happened. I don't know. I was driven somewhere every night. That's
Great
all
time.
I know. 10 out of 10. We'll do it again.
Did.
But no, that bowling place was cool. Apart from the price of the drinks and stuff, it was pretty chill. It was cool to see a bunch of people there after we just met, drag along people that didn't know anyone. I found that quite funny. Like even when Sam was like, "Who are the?" He's like at the bar. It's like, "Who are the?" Like point out the popular Twitch streamers. And I'm like,
the big leagues.
I'm like, the table that's right behind us at the bar. I'm like, that guy and that guy and that guy. They're the popular ones. Ask for their
Sounds like
autograph
time to
if you
rub
want.
elbows. Here we go. Business Sam comes out.
Business
Ties
Sam. Oh,
hair
God.
back.
If that was Business Sam, I have no future as a businessman, that's for sure. But, no, I recognized one of them because he was on a stream with Funhouse earlier in that day at the event. And I was like, ooh, he seems a bit iffy, but yeah.
Like that was just something. That was just like, I don't know. That was just like stuck in my throat or something. And I just had to like get that out.
I think it's going around.
No, it's just like I've got the plague clocks.
The RTX plague.
The RTX plague. That was. I don't know. That was nothing.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
continue.
the late
Sorry.
stage.
There was a guy, an uneventful guy who I don't know at all. You saw
who's not interested in doing things for views.
Yes, exactly. That's correct. That's 100% correct.
He doesn't like to hog a whole stage when everyone's there for the actual big channel. He doesn't like to take over the entire stage.
No, he's very modest.
Humble.
He's very genuine.
Very humble, very modest, generous. Some might say.
A lot of community worker here. Nothing for himself. That's it.
Jack saved me from going to prison. Luckily.
Turn my life around.
You murdered him in the toilet.
You know that scene in is it the Cable Guy where Jim Carrey fucks up Owen Wilson in the toilet?
Yeah.
That nearly happened.
I look over at Jack. He's like, "Hey, here's I'm like washing my hands or something," and Jack's just like, "Calm down."
I'm spiking himself up in the mirror, just looking like, "You can do it. You can do it."
I was like, "I've had enough to drink. Let's go."
Oh no.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, that turned out to be a great night. I had a great chat to NATO that night and stuff. So yeah, that was really good. But then I don't know where you went, Jack, and everyone else. Like we just kind of lost you, and then Dylan, Ben, and I walked around for a good 40 minutes trying to find a place, and everyone's
What do you mean
everyone
trying to find a place? Trying to get into a place.
No,
Yeah,
we could have got into a place. Me and Ben could have got into a place.
Yeah, you two could have. We walked out. So when we left, you guys walked like straight out, and we sort of turned to the left. So we went out to have a cheeky ciggy out on that sort of walk bridge on the way out, and it was me, Daniel, Salim from 8-Bit, some guy named Troll, who's also a Twitch streamer, who the big dude with the massive beard, and Jordan, and then like Troll's friends. He had like two chicks and a dude with him, and we were just out there, and then everyone sort of had already dissipated, and we sort of debated whether to go on. Like they were all heading to Newtown, and it was one of those ones where like you know sometimes when you just like, do we keep going? You know it's going to be bad, but it could potentially be good. There's like a very slim chance it could be good. Probably going to be bad though. We just made the right call. Like Daniel, my friend Daniel, he was fucked. It was quite funny. And so he's like, we should go to Newtown. And I was like, because I had a massive one on Friday night, so I wasn't quite at that level of everyone else on the Saturday night. And so I was sort of like, I'm really tired. I've like my feet are sore from this fucking con today. I'm like, I could just totally just go home. And he's like, no, we should go to Newtown. I'm like, nah, let's not go to Newtown. And so we decided not to go to Newtown, thankfully. So it was just one of those
little voice.
Yeah, normally that voice is like, keep going, don't be a pussy. And I'm like, because it was just one of those things where the guy was like, oh, I know a guy at a pub who can get us in, even though it's like after lockout. I'm like, no, I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be like, nah, sorry guys, mic's not working tonight. You can't come in. And
trudge back.
Yeah, trudge back. So we went down to the food court for like half an hour, and I watched Daniel smash like 4 Porto's burgers.
That's like to behold. A better night in all rights.
It was. He was like, I'm getting an Porto burger. I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, I'm getting another one. I'm like, holy fuck.
Well, the three of us not having that little voice spearheaded forward, and we're like, all right, let's find somewhere that's open.
There's a club right on the wharf.
Well, did you try to get into that club that's like out, like you go out
just outside the food court?
Moon, they had the full moon party there.
Yeah.
No
that's
good.
What it was. And that's where
I got in there.
Yeah, you did get in. You're about to pay, and then I was like, "No, stop! I can't get in."
The guy was looking at me like I was Sam's carer because he was like,
"Do you have his papers?"
So they let Ben straight in. They stopped me like, "How many drinks have you had, mate?" And I was like, "Oh, about 5." I'd had many more than that, but 5 has always been my safe answer. That's gotten me in because always drunk people always say, "Oh, only like 3." That's a lying answer. It's like, "Oh, 5 should be fine." Anyway, he was like, "Oh yeah, look, probably not." So I told Ben to come back. Then the manager came down in a suit. He was like, "Get all these people in. Come on, like get these 3 guys in." And then him and the bouncer. Yeah, they had not an argument, but a bit of a chat. Like, okay, you guys got to piss off. Tried like 3 more pubs. Somehow ended up at the start.
Plymouth again to get back into the. Was it Plymouth or Plymouth? Whatever it's called. Wherever we was earlier.
Yeah,
Piermont. Yeah,
Piermont. Sorry. We tried the Piermont again. Once again, it was like, no.
You're fucked. Go home.
You're fucked. Fucking hell, can't win with this kid around.
Put a fork in him. He's done.
You should have just left me for dead.
Yeah, so we just
leave their name behind. You boys did well. I'm proud.
It was like, well, for fuck's sake, the only place he's going to be able to get into is the casino. So then it was the mission to make it to the casino, and then once we get to the casino, it's then there is a security person here also. He has to pass one final test, and I was behind him, and it was very stressful because I'm like, please, I don't want to. I think I'll just give up if we don't get into here. And he, arms up, he's scanning you like, what have you been doing tonight? Like, or whatever. How many drinks? Drinks.
He's on one foot doing the whole like finger to the nose thing. It's like, oh no,
how you doing? I'm fine. I'm sober.
Meanwhile, I'm like half up the escalators, looking back. I'm like, fuck. If he doesn't get lit in, I'm going to like go and find a way out of this place.
Yeah. And I nearly got fucked because the dude's like looking at my license like crazy, which everyone always does. every time, but I know what it is. It's because it's a Tasmanian license, and they look weird to these like people in different places. Apparently, they look fake or something. He's like giving it. He's like, "Oh, I know." I'm like, "It's Tasmanian." He's like, "Oh, right, yeah." And then he's just asked me touristing questions like, "Yeah, is it cool to visit there? Like, good holiday and all this sort of shit." I'm like, "Yeah,
planning a trip for his family."
Fucking great. Like, come have a visit. You're going to come down. There's beautiful scenery.
Come visit my house.
Yeah.
Come stay at ours. I'll cook your feed.
What you been
Show you the
doing
sights.
tonight? Oh, just having a few drinks at a friendly family. Okay, can I go now? Thank you. Bye. Like,
Speaking of not being let into, or nearly not being let into places. At one point, we went out when we were at the bowling alley place. We went out for a cigarette outside, and don't smoke, kids. And there, anyway, we as we were walking out, it was four of us. It was Daniel, myself, Dylan, and Salim. We walked out, and we literally said to the bouncer, "We're just," and like all of us were fine. Like Dylan was the most drunk out of all of us, and he was still completely fine. And we literally looked at the bouncer and said, "We're just going to go out that door right there. We're just going to have a cigarette. We'll be back in 5 minutes." And he's like, "Yeah, sweet, no worries." Anyway, we go outside. We come back in.
It was like 10 minutes outside to me.
Oh yeah, it was like not long enough for him to forget.
No, not long enough to forget, but it wasn't like a hot 2 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, like we walk up, we're like, "Hey mate," he's like, "Oh, hold on, guys, hold on. Just wait a second." We're like, we literally just came, like, we spoke to you like 10 minutes ago. We just come in, we were in here like before. He's like, I noticed slight signs of intoxication. We're like, "Yes, we've been drinking in here tonight. Like, we were just in there. You saw us. They served us alcohol." He's like, "I'm sorry, I just have to call the manager." Like, fully was like, not going to let us in. We're like, and all of us were completely fine. We're like, "Are you fucking serious?" He's like, I know, I detect slight signs of intoxication. I'm like, is this guy fucking for real? The manager comes over and is like, "What's going on?" And he's like, I detect slight signs of intoxication here." And he looks at us and and we're like, "Yeah, we've been in here tonight. We've had a few drinks."
No, my favorite part is that I handle it because I still think it's fucking hilarious that I'm the one who's talking to the manager.
The manager literally looked at us for 2 seconds. He's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Come in." I'm like,
yeah,
fucking dickhead.
God damn it. Fucking bouncers, huh?
They're pretty on themselves, I think.
Sydney, I find.
They are stingy as fuck.
A lot stricter than Melbourne already.
In Melbourne, they don't give a fuck. I went to a bar in Melbourne probably like maybe 6 months ago. I went to this bar. And I was fucking sloshed. Like, I was beyond, like, I was worse than what Sam was on Saturday night. Like, I couldn't. I was like at the point where I'm like one eye. Like, I'm like, I can do this if I keep one eye shut, because then there's only there's only like 2 things and not 4.
That's
and I was like,
place.
I walk up to this bouncer, and to get into this place, it's called what's it called? It's like Pots and Bowl. It's like a inside mini bowl, not mini bowl, like putt
mini golf
bar. Yeah, mini golf bar. It's
like a mini putt. Yep.
You got painted up in the picture. Anyway, I walk up to this thing with this friend, and she gets up and like she goes in, and the guy's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, and she's like standing there waiting for me to like be told to go away, and he's like, "I just need you to like say a word." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." He's like, "Oh, come in." Like, I was visibly fucked. Like, I was like swaying one eye. He's like, "Are you all right, mate?" I'm like, and like I didn't reply because I'm that drunk. He's like, "I just need you to like say a word, like tell me you're okay." And I'm like, "Okay."
Sam wasn't even that fine. Like, Sam was fine as far as I'm concerned. I would have fucking let him in, but that's
I watched the vlog and I'm like, he didn't seem that bad.
No, he's fine. I mean, their standards are. I mean, I've got the closest I ever got to not getting let in was I nearly fell out of a maxi taxi that we got because I'd been at someone's. This was last year. I'd been at this house and this fucking girl was just like feeding me like too much liquor. And then I was by the time we even get there, this is only like 11 p.m. or something ridiculous. I'm fucking wasted. I basically fall out of this taxi, and of course the bouncer like sees me and it's just like walk over. And I walk over. Everyone, you try and act sober, but to anyone else, it's like I just saw you fall out of that taxi, trip and fall visibly onto the fucking road, then stumble up the gutter like it was a 10-foot step, like like the biggest, like when you do like that's like a big effort to get in. And it's like how do what I did? He's like eyeing me up and down, and I think it was just because like was there of like 4 or 5 other people or whatever, and it's just like, can you? I'll let you in. You have to go straight to the bar and get a water though. And I'm like, yeah, nah, yeah,
all right.
oh, fucking fine, yeah, of course, buddy. And then you're like tapping him on the shoulder, you know, you're fucking, you're like, yeah, we're fucking fine, buddy. And you're like, I didn't have water. It's the moral.
Who would though? They're not going to check up on that.
It was straight in Jack Daniels.
If I was at that point of intoxication, I'd be like, I better have a water. He's going to watch me. He's going to be watching me. And me on the security cameras.
I have been the saddest person one time, like in the corner of the club, right next to the bar where they have like the free water, like the, you know, like the office, whatever thing, and just sat there for an hour, just refilling one of those cups, just like sitting there, just like dying, just refilling it for an hour, just sitting there, like I can't move. And then being like, I want to go home. I want to go home so bad, but I can't get up and walk out of here. Like, it's just physically impossible for me to get up and walk out of here. And
Water will fix me.
Because if you close your eyes, the security guard will walk up and be like, eyes open. They won't let you fall asleep because they don't want you to pass out there. So if you close your eyes on a bar or a seat or anything, they just be like, wake up. They're not like, get the fuck out. They're like, eyes open. Eyes open. So it's just like, eyes open.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just drinking water. It's fine.
See, like, if you're in Canberra and you close your eyes at all, if you're even like closing your eyes, leaning on someone else, like you're out. That's it. There's no questions asked. You're just out of the club straight away.
Chair, leaned back, and I reckon I fell asleep for a good 30 seconds in this place before I got shook awake and was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm good now. I'm just gonna go have a Red Bull." And the security chick was like, "Yeah, all right." And then she walked up. I was like, "I got better shit to do." Whatever.
Yeah, interesting.
Sydney is just notorious for having a horrible nightlife these days. It's practically dead. All the bouncers are strict. Like, there was one time, a different time out in Sydney. I was with Ben, though. We were going to another place in Darling Harbour, a nightclub there, and our friend Aiden was trying to get in. The other three of us were already in. We were fine. None of us had pretty much any drinks yet at this point. They're like, have you got any ID, mate? He's like, yeah, here's my license. They just look him up and down and like, have you got a student card? He's like, yeah, mate, here you go. Gives him the student card. He's like, and a Medicare card and like maybe one other form of ID and just go over that metal detector over there. It's like, oh, shit.
He even asked at one point for a bank statement. And he's like, who carries a bank statement? I can't know.
Electricity bill on you.
Was that a bit? Or?
Do you have an actual copy of your birth certificate as well, please? I need your parents' ones as well. If you could just get those and come back, that'd be great.
A letter from your parent or guardian.
Could you just get the Governor General to sign this declaration before you're allowed in?
Talking about funny fucking strict people. So we end up at the casino. And we sit down at the bar for a while. Well, we take forever to get a drink because apparently it's like casino. Every motherfucker in Sydney is just like gathers at the casino. Apparently, I was like, Jesus, this place is just like packed. I'm like, this is a sports bar, and I guarantee half the people here give zero shits about what's actually happening. It's just like your general audience of everyone drinking around. We spent ages getting a drink at this really weird bar where it was being held. It like went. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. And we sit down, and then we were there for a while. But then when we decided to leave finally, because we was going to try and find the entrance to the secret club on the outside that we didn't end up finding. But on the way out, when we're recording, you're recording a video, I'm recording a video fucking for our blogs, and then this fucking dude just like runs up like fucking Spider-Man slings off the roof or some shit out of nowhere and like taps us on the shoulder like, no recording here, no recording. It's so funny because I watched my video back and I could see him tell you because he went to use behind me first.
Yeah.
He came up to me like, no recording. I was like, I'm done anyway. Like,
fuck you, man.
Yeah, I see. But you watch the full video, you could just see him come to use behind, like he's like, and then like, oh, sorry, no recording here. Why? It's a fucking casino. Like, what's the?
I have no idea. That's just
cheating methods.
The footage I have of that, because I was looking back on all the footage of this yesterday when I was sending it to Ben. It'll be in our vlog too. It's like a perfectly normal video of me talking. You're on it for a little bit, Dylan, and then the last like little frame of it is me swinging it around, and he happens to be perfectly in frame, smiling, and that's the last frame. Like he was posing for the video with the photo. He's just like,
I fucking got you,
little fella. You better stop that.
In Vegas. I went in Vegas last year. They literally don't even let you have your phone out if you're anywhere near a table. Like,
wow!
I was walking around filming.
Around a table.
Sorry,
that makes sense if you're at a table. That's
yeah.
Any
but like, not even like I was standing. Like Jono was not even at the like I was at the table like gambling, and Jono didn't want to get too close to the table in case he sinned, so he was like a meter or so back, and he was like just on his phone, like looking at Facebook or whatever, and like the bouncers kept coming up and being like, "Put your phone away! Like you're not allowed to be on your phone in here." And like to the point where he just like, I don't know, it's like, you know what it's like reaction these days. You just pull your phone out, you don't even realize you're doing it. Yeah. And he kept pulling the phone out, and the guy kept coming over and like, dude, put your phone away. Like you cannot be on your phone if you're in here. I'm like, Jono, phone, fuck it off. Come on.
Like, because I pulled out my phone at like a table, even at my casino here in Launceston, and you get told off for it if you're sitting at the table. I can't say I can't think of I've ever pulled one out while watching someone, because I don't think I've ever watched someone though, because I'm obviously always participating anytime I've been in a casino. So I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah. Can't say I've gambled at a casino, so wouldn't know.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that there, did we? It was like walked in, had maybe 2 drinks at what were we calling, like Judy Bench or something like that? The bar there was called the Bench.
It was called the Bench.
And
you guys are starting any sports podcast, you three?
Yeah.
The Bench?
Yeah, that's it.
You're like Bench Explosion. When's that a thing, Dylan?
Although the Bench is a quality name for a sports podcast. If that doesn't exist already, someone needs to jump on that.
I'm sure there's probably like 4 or 5 of them.
Yes, but is there one named the Judy Dench? That's on
I
top.
look back on my tweet, say from that night where I sent out that thing. I was like, "We'll catch you on the streets of Judy Dench," and I spent a good period of Sunday morning going, "Why did I tweet that?" And it hit me.
I saw that. I'm like,
about it for ages. Yeah, I was thinking about it for ages, and I'm like, I can't remember. And then like hours pass in the day, and I'm like walking around the con, and it just suddenly hit me. I was like, "Oh fuck." It's because you were making dirty Judy Dench jokes, very dirty Judy Dench jokes. That I didn't even repeat my tweet. I just used the Judy Dench part. But I was like, we're not talking about Judy Dench sexually on my Twitter. Thank you very much.
Look, I can't blame you for that. I won't hold that against you.
Although I do like how your series of tweets that night would have been fuck Sydney, lockout laws. I've never heard of anything like that before. And then whatever it was about Judy Dench. And then we're still out, bitches. It's like,
I'm still out, cunts.
It's like, oh, you can tell Dylan's been having a great night. But how did you guys pull up Sunday morning? Did you guys go to the con again straight away at 10 a.m. or?
No.
I woke up at 7 o'clock and got 3 hours sleep.
Oof,
That's my story.
Ding, ding, ding. You get the award.
Yeah, because we probably got back to Daniel's at like 4:15. By the time I went to sleep, it would have been at least 4:30. And Daniel's, so I slept at my friend Daniel's house, lives in just out of Sydney. He's got this cat. And like, I'm already like, with cats, like my tolerance level's like... So, and this thing, like, and Daniel's my best friend in the world, but this fucking cat, I'm like, you should have got a dog. I'm going to murder this thing. It's like somehow it's gotten out of his bedroom, and I'm sleeping in like on the fold out couch in the lounge room, and I'm like at like 5:30 in the morning, I hear meow, meow. I'm like, oh no, what the fuck do you want? Because he gets up early, he's a chef, so he gets up super early, goes to work and like feeds the cat at like 5:30. So the cat's like, get up, cunt, feed me. And I'm like, fuck off, cunt, I'm sleeping. And the thing proceeded to annoy me for like, and I'm not talking like just meowing, I'm talking like running across like my head and then like coming up and being like pawing at my face, sitting on my head, like clawing at my feet for like 2.5 hours.
You just fed the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's it. Get up and feed it.
Just get up, feed it, and you would have had 0 problems and could have gone back to sleep.
No,
or cat.
Fucking cat. Kill it.
What do you mean you're not a cat person?
Oh, it was the worst. So yeah, no, we didn't. There was no chance of getting in. I think I got in just after like 11:30 when the sugar pine panel was about to start. Yeah. There was no chance of getting in there at 10.
There was no chance of me getting extra sleep with Kieran snoring next to me. So that's just how it works.
Cunt is the for Extra Life when they stayed here, Kieran was like in the far back room and I was in my bedroom, which is like down the front of the house, and I could hear the cunt.
Oh man.
And like I could hear him over people streaming through the night. And then he's like, imagine like a big, like, I don't know, like a big cave that's got like a hole down like the other end, and that when it gusts it, where it's like a big wind tunnel.
Oh. Yeah. Classic, like big monster in a cave story.
Yeah, I like how you knew he was like that, Dylan, but you still got a room with him anyway. That's kind of on you.
I had my chance. I know what he's like. I stayed at his house for a week. I stayed with him in PAX. It's just accepted.
That's it.
I've conditioned to it at this point, I suppose.
Move on.
Yeah. There you go. I remember I rocked up back to the con again at 10 a.m. after getting a couple of hours sleep. And I tried to stand there for Funhouse, and because they were the first panel, we were right up the back because we got there probably like 10 past 10. We were right up the back, and the Razor guy was shouting the whole time behind us.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't hear anything but the Achievement Hunter guys at the gameplay stage. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to get a coffee and sit down at the back for like an hour or two and recover. So I just missed that whole thing. Yeah, I was like, no, I can't be here. So yeah, and then watched Sugar Pine, and then I think we went back and had a nap after that or something.
Oh, he's awake.
I mean, we went back. You went have a nap, and we only had like an hour anyway, so just stayed up and chatted. Yeah. You had some weird out-of-body experience nap thing you were telling me about.
It was weird. Like, usually I'm a really, really deep sleeper. I'm like a rock. It's kind of usually hard to wake me up. But I was trying to have my nap there.
In your head.
And it felt like I was sleeping. We could still hear the conversation and register it perfectly. That's probably a normal thing. But yeah, I've never had that before. But yeah.
Okay, welcome to society.
Yeah, Sunday was a bit of a write-off for me because I got in 11:30, watched the Sugar Pine panel, which was good, and then like we got some lunch, walked around for a bit, and then it was like Kieran and Del, you guys went to watch like maybe the Ruby panel or one of the on the spot or.
There were girls. There was girls with Rooster Teeth. There was Ruby. There was one other one. I don't know, there's a bunch.
So you guys went off to do the panels, and I was with Daniel, and we just sort of walked the floor. And I was like, after like the 10th lap, I was like, I can only like walk around this fucking show floor like so many times. I'm just like, and I just left. Fuck this.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
You know, I got up to the classic. I knew I had shit the next day. Why the fuck did I do this to myself? You're a piece of shit. Well done. Past Ben is a bit of a dickhead. But my solution for getting past a hangover is you got to get over that initial hump where you smash down some water, smash down some food, and then that next half hour is make or break time. You're either going to be like, fuck yeah, right as rain, or it's just severe downhill. And so I did the classic, downed a liter of water, ate some food, and was fine after that. Luckily.
So the key is to drink the water before you go to bed. That's
normally is the key.
Because then you don't wait. Because it's the dehydration that gives you the headache. Yeah. And if you scull, like I try and make a point of if I have a big drinking night no matter how fucked I am, I try and at least scull like at the very least like a 750 ml bottle of water. Yeah. But like at least a liter if I can, and then you just wake up and you're just a bit dusty.
I'm gonna make the same, but he'll sit there with a cup and he'll just keep going until he's just like bloated. All right, good now.
You got to do it. And do you know what the best part is? Like you'll jolt yourself awake because you'll need to piss so bad by the morning, and then you're like right and ready to go. It's like fucking let's do it.
It's a win-win.
Routine: get home, taxi drops you off, crawl inside house, go to kitchen, get the biggest cup that I have, water, grab my 2 Nurofen. Grab my 2 Panadol.
Yeah, Nurofen
collapse onto bed.
My drug cocktail.
Gulp as much as water as I can until I feel like I can't do it. My mouth is incapable of the thing to swallow anymore, and then just pass out. And then I wake up fine.
I like that whole explanation is really simple too, so that even drunk Dylan can interpret it. It's like crawl out taxi, get a bottle.
Simple, even for normal. That's fine.
I like that you gave the example of when your mouth is full of water too. So you have that audio cue for when you're doing that yourself. You know just how it sounds.
Yeah. Audio podcast, Sam Wise, not so much.
That's why my Twitter is not Sam Wise.
I made the pun.
Fantastic. We're pretty much on the hour mark now, so I'll wrap it up very soon. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already checked out the stuff at the Explosion Network where Dylan and Jack are from, definitely go check it out. Lots of great podcasts going on over there and vlogs of the event. The one that came out today has Ben and I at our absolute peak.
That's it.
I don't know
It's
what word to
space.
describe it as. Yeah,
In your prime.
yeah, in our prime, I suppose.
Yelling
We
about
started.
Satan, it's quality content.
No regrets from that
Ben
video at all.
offers himself to Satan if you want to see that. It's
Twice.
quality viewing, so definitely check that out. And yeah, if you want to listen to this again, or if you're listening to it topic by topic, we do release the full edited audio version on iTunes each and every week and every other podcast service. I've been Sam with Ben, Jack, and Dylan, and until next time, au revoir.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui, matafon.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.